First movie I saw of 2025, The Damned. Damn it, The Damned. Okay, this movie is actually technically a foreign film. It's based off of the United Kingdom, somewhere maybe in Ireland or the UK. The movie, I'm kind of split about it. It was good, but then it wasn't. Let me explain. The story centers around a small fishing colony, and it's not even much of a colony, to be honest with you. It's just a small group of people that do fishing for towns nearby. And the leader is this girl named Eva, right? It's a whole bunch of guys and this woman named Eva. There's another lady there too, but she's an older lady, very superstitious lady. I'll get back to her in a minute. Where, her husband had died accidentally, I think, a while back, and she, is the one trying to carry the torch, so to speak. And what happened was during a day of their usual routine, they witnessed a ship capsizing in the distance and sinking. And at first they wanted to help, and they didn't, and they decided they can't because they didn't have enough boats or enough people. So eventually, because it was already into the winter solstice and the days were getting shorter and shorter, uh, she and the guys went to get at least some of the food from the there were like barrels and stuff of food that washed up on the shore. Unfortunately, there was some unfortunate incidents take place that it involves the people from that boat, and they actually tried to put them to rest. Let's just say that. I'm not going to get into detail. Um, but by doing that, according to the old lady, like I said before, she's a very superstitious old lady. There's this legend about this thing called the Drager or Drager. I don't know how to exactly pronounce it, but the idea is that they're kind of like the living corpses of the dead. They come back to life, kind of like a zombie, but they're not there anymore. It's kind of like they're there, but they're not. As a result, Eva starts having these dreams, these hallucinations of these dark figures coming to haunt them for apparently maybe revenge for having not helped them. It reminded me a lot of, in a way, The Fog, in a sense. There was it felt like it had that same kind of feel or aura about it. Not as well made as The Fog, but it did remind me of it because there was fog at one point, and there was a scary ghost story in the very beginning. The old lady was telling me, telling the audience, which reminded me of the old man in the beginning of The Fog telling his ghost story. So it was kind of like there was a bit of a parallel there. I thought that was kind of cool. This was shot very well, but then at the point of the third act, by the time the third act kicked in, it started to lose me, and the way it ended, it definitely lost me. It did, and which is kind of a drag in a sense because I thought that this movie had a lot of potential to bring it to a header. The movie is very suspenseful and psychological in nature, holding on to these mythological creatures called I have to keep reading them, the Draugr, or I don't know how to pronounce that thing. It's these kind of like supernatural beings that kind of like take over the corpses of the dead and come to haunt you. Eva, tries to find a way to get eliminate the threat, but not before people in her group, or the fishermen in her group, start to experience their own trauma, their own bad things. Let me just say it that way. I don't know if they could have made it any better than this. I think what happened was at the end, I got it. I got what the movie was trying. The point was made. There is a point. I'm like, because then you have to. One must realize in these kind of situations, being in an isolated area, the sense of paranoia that arises amongst you and your group. Think of, I don't know, The Thing or something. Remember, had the paranoia amongst each other, who's who, what's going on. Something think like that. But the idea is that it was, in my opinion, it wasn't executed as well as it should have been. It could have been. It could have been executed better. I got the story and I liked it. The whole idea of these, this supernatural element into this story about dead people and the Dragur and coming back for revenge and all that. You didn't help, but okay, great. And some of the shots, there were a couple of jump scare shots that caught me, and I was like, that was good, but it wasn't enough for me to save the movie, especially at the end. At the end, I was kind of like, oh, I get it now. Okay. I'll be real with you. I'm gonna give The Damned only 2 coffee cups because I know I'm not gonna see it again. This is a come and go movie for me. As most horror movies in January tend to be. I mean, some people liked it. As a matter of fact, it got a high rating in Rotten Tomatoes, and it's been making a lot of money. So maybe I'm the odd guy out about this one. But I have to be real with you all. I'm not gonna lie. I left kind of like, it was. I get the ending. I just wish the ending was executed better. I think that's what I'm trying to tell you. The execution of the way it ended, the twist at the end. There's a twist at the end that made me go, okay, so that's what happens. Couldn't you have done something better than what you showed me in order to bring that same idea, that same message, that same ending out? I think that's my biggest grief with The Damned, But that's me. Other people like it. If you liked it, come back here, talk to me, comment below, and let me know what you think of The Damned. I think it's a good. I like the way it was shot, to be real, but again, I think it was about context, not so much about cinematography. Cinematography was on point. The scary shots, there were scary shots in there that were pretty good. I appreciated it, but it just didn't. It just ended up falling flat for me at the very end, which is unfortunate. Hopefully, I won't have to talk about the other movies that are coming up in the next few weeks like this. But again, it's January, so all I need to do is keep a head up and keep drinking my coffee. All right. So that's my review. Let me know what you think. Comment below, and if you like this content, please consider subscribing and tap on the bell for future notifications for future horror and coffee content. All right? Like you guys, love you guys very much. I like, love, and all of that. So enjoy. And here's to 2025. We're still young and into it. So don't forget to drink your coffee. Ralph Perez, Horror and Coffee. Until next time, take care.